So, why should you ask yourself why before casting a spell? Well, this is especially helpful if you're a beginner, someone who's new to magic, new to casting spells. So, for example, why should you use a pink candle for true love instead of a red candle? Because we all think of like red roses um, associated with love. So, why would you do that? Why should you use a piece of pyrite for your money magic instead of a quartz crystal? Why should you use come to me oil to get that guy versus hot foot? Okay, so here is an interesting story of why you should ask yourself why. It's because you really need to know what is behind a spell, how they work, what your plan is to make it work, all the things involved in it before casting it. You can't just pick up a spell book from a bookstore and then just start casting these words and expect it to work without knowing all the reasons behind it. What is involved in this? Why am I casting this? What will happen when I do? Am I familiar with all these ingredients and what they actually do? So, that interesting story is there was a client one time who purchased a hot foot candle spell. They wanted performed on someone. They didn't give a lot of details in their petition. They just put the person's name and their birth date. And then when it was over, they happened to mention that the guy did not come to them. And we're like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? It's a hot foot spell. And they said, well, someone on Instagram told me that Hotfoot is to make him really passionate and run to you as quickly as they can. No, ma'am. Hotfoot is to make someone get the heck away from you as fast as they can, to run the other direction, to move out of town, to move out of state, to leave you the hell alone. That person on Instagram also didn't ask themselves why when they gave you that advice because it was totally wrong. What you needed was come to me oil to bring the guy to you. So here's someone just wanting a spell casted, doesn't give any great detailed information. You think they know what they want. And they base the entire thing not even on a book they purchased, but some advice from a random person on Instagram that they had never met before in a random conversation. And they were using the ingredients to make the guy completely leave when they wanted him to come to them. So, yeah, ask yourself, why am I using this oil? What is it for? So, why would you use pyrite for money instead of quartz crystal? Because pyrite is associated with money. The other word for it is fool's gold. I'm sure if you have real gold laying around, why not use that? That's especially going to attract some money, but it is associated with money and a substitute for gold. So that's why you would use it instead of the quartz crystal. Now, if we go back to why use a pink candle versus a red one for true love is pink is associated with true love, while red is more associated with passion. Now, you can use either one. You absolutely can. But if you want to get really picky about it and you have both colors, why not use the one that's really associated with true love? Now, you can also burn them together if you wanted to. If you want to sort of ignite the true love and the passion in the relationship, sure, go for both. But if you didn't know that in the beginning, that's the reason to ask yourself why. Why am I using these particular colors? I know nothing about this. So, if you do get a spell out of a book or from a friend or from the internet, even from us at Aroma G's Botanica, ask yourself first, why am I purchasing these things? And do I know what they're associated with? We're always happy to help you. If you have questions, you can always call the store. But that's the main thing behind spellcasting is to really put all of your effort into it. And to put enough effort into it is to understand what it is you're doing. Now, you don't have to become a seasoned spellcaster. You may have someone else do the things for you, but it's important to know what goes on behind a spell. Why is this being cast for this reason? Why wouldn't I use something else? Why should I burn rosemary instead of white sage? Why should I use lavender buds for something versus stinkweed? I don't know, anything. Um, so the important thing is research. That's the main point here is to research and find out why you use the things you use when it comes to casting a spell. And if you do that, you will actually find that your education level will really skyrocket um, in witchcraft and hoodoo, in whatever path you're coming from, in order to cast a spell, to say a prayer, to do a ritual, because you know all of the details that are behind it, why you're doing it, why you want to maybe change it in the future if it didn't work, maybe add some other things to it, maybe take a different approach. So the next time you go to do a spell or have someone do a spell for you, just dig a little bit deeper and ask yourself why.